Okay, friends, welcome back to it. Another session to Thinking and Destiny. We have a break last week. Hope you remember what we thought in the previous Noetic Destiny session. And before we go further into the Noetic Destiny and what Percival is taking us to what wisdom, before that, let us meditate on his consciousness for a while, and then we can start. Please sit in a meditative posture, cross your legs, clasp your hands, and close your eyes. Please observe the soft, tranquil, natural. Do not force yourself. You're soft. Tranquil. Percival is taking us to deep wisdom. How our light is traveling back to our body through our food, lift up your palms and open your eyes with a beautiful smile on your face. Before we go further, let's recap what we have gone through the last sessions. Over to you, Balagaru.
Okay. So, in the Noetic Destiny, last time, Prasanna covered return of the light to nature, the lunar germ, and how to control. And the light from the humans sent to the nature and comes back through the food and sunlight, and also starlight. This outgoing and incoming light will continue until the light is reclaimed from all our attachments, sense attachments. Then light is returned to noetic atmosphere of human, either automatically or through the self-control. So, return of light which has gone out in many ways, never leaves noetic atmosphere of triune self. Earth, time, and dimensions have no effect on stopping the light of intelligence. This light of intelligence in the noetic atmosphere of triune self has its own identity. That means it goes out into nature and returns to its own triune self. This light retains its identity in several forms and places, and also in nature. Some light reclaimed through food, some through the thinking. The light make, this this through thinking may take days, years, or lives to draw back the light through thinking. Light in the food is a mix of light of consumers and also light from other doers like farmers and cooking people, and serving. Just like the atmosphere of different people intermingle according to quality, that is all meditators in one place like that. So the light in the food also intermingles with consumers and also other doers. That's what he's saying. Food and light. Food comes from 4 nature elements taken as solid, liquid, air, sunlight, and starlight. Solid food contains liquid, air, and sunlight. Solid liquid food enters through the digestive system. Airy and also some of the fiery food through respiratory system. Starlight enters through the eyes and skin. When the food is taken, other 3 systems also works with the digestive system. Physical breath causes peristaltic movement in all the 4 systems. Proper changes are made in the food to turn into the chyme, like acidic pulpy matter in the stomach. It becomes ready for the absorption and assimilation. This is how the digestion occurs. Circulation and kidneys filter the blood to remove impurities. Adrenals pour out their secretions to empower red and white blood cells and invigorate sex glands. Generative system. The seat of the generative system is the pituitary body. It has branches in the brain and also all parts of the body. It is the source of other 3 systems, which are respiratory, circulatory, and digestive. From a fused cell, this generative cell grows into circle shape, separates into spine and digestive tract. Then it forms amniotic sac, attaches to the uterus. That is how it forms. With the developed placenta, kidneys and adrenals, heart, lungs, circulatory, respiratory systems, they're all formed within the divided circle. During life, generative system regulates ductless glands like pituitary, thyroid, thymus, spleen, adrenal secretions. Generative system also helps digestive system in food and absorption. 4 kinds of extracts elaborated in the testicular and ovaries for seeds and soil, which represents all parts of the body essence. Generative system gives tonic strength to involuntary and voluntary nervous systems, and also digestive and circulatory and respiratory systems. So he says this generative system, it works like a tonic to give it more, gives more strength to all these systems. And finally, the generative system breath transfers portion of the food light into lunar germ. And it comes from the sperm and ovaries. This process controlled by pituitary body. It controls 4 systems and 4 physical breaths by involuntary nervous system. Light going back to noetic atmosphere goes through the generative system by noetic breath. The radiant light extracted from the food moves up and down in the generative system. Lunar germ. Each month after puberty, the generative system produces one of the male or female lunar germ in the pituitary body. When lunar germ matures, it leaves the pituitary body, and then this lunar germ passes on to the right side, passes down into involuntary nerve through the involuntary system, mixes with other light, descends to solar plexus, and then it goes to digestive system, and then goes to lower abdomen where the sex organs resided. And sperm and ova are both as male and female lunar germs. Lunar germ gives inner strength, and then the seed and soil gives outer physical body to the formation of the newborn. Lunar germ must be united with the seed and soil from the food to produce a perfect body without any deficiency. Light is sent out monthly to lunar germ from the nature. Lunar germ is a matter of the 4 worlds. It has impressions of the doer and light of intelligence. So the light to generate lunar germ comes from the noetic atmosphere through the pituitary body. That's what I said. Light from the solar germ. Here the solar germ light comes through the left side of the spine from the and then ascends and carried by the involuntary system, nervous system, and then through the through the breaths, through the breaths, it goes to the kidneys. So light from the other systems attach during this process, light from the other system also attaches to the lunar germ light. Lunar germ light deprived by anger, jealousy, envy, and revenge. That is how the doer loses the light. Return of the lunar germ light from the kidneys to noetic atmosphere occurs without doer's knowledge. Alcohol, smoking, drugs, excessive sex stops this light going back to noetic atmosphere. Triune self does not give all the light to the doer at one time. It gives in small amounts or loan to the doer. Without auto-reclamation, you will lose all the light. Two ways we get the light, that is one from the food and second way is from the lunar germ. Every month, when this lunar germ produced from the pituitary body, it descends through the solar plexus, and then from there, in 2 weeks, it goes to intestines, and then another week, after 1 week, it goes into the lower abdomen, the sex organs. That is how in 4 weeks, it travels from the production to the lower abdomen, from the pituitary to the sex organs, lower abdomen. That's what I have, the summary.
Thank you, Balagaru, for quick recap of all the items. You covered almost every item. So today we are actually talking about the same continuation of the reclamation of the light. So last class we have talked about how we can reclamation of the light with the food, basically. How the food you can take and how. And at the end we are also talking about that lunar gem and solar gem as well, right? So here we will discuss. So this lunar gem will go waste through the sex organs, basically, for every month. But with the self-control, you can retain that lunar gem. You can retain that lunar gem and you can make that, instead of from the kidneys and adrenals, it is going back to the sexual organs and going out. Instead of that, you can make that and going back, travel back. So if travel back and again go to the pituitary body where it starts, so then it will mingle with the next lunar gem. The second time the lunar gem when it is coming, this light will go and mingle with that and it will strengthen actually that particular lunar gem. Ideally, to give you a brief idea, ideally if this travels, so how many times you think that it will travels per an year? Actually, lunar gem, it is a cycle of 13 cycles in a year, usually. So in a year, if all the 13 cycles, if you can control that self-control and retain that light within your body, then your body will be like a perfect body and you'll have that kind of healthy kind of things because you are actually retaining your light within yourself. If you are actually doing the longer and longer times, then this particular lunar gem, so when you are doing the year by year, then you can rebuild the body. That is the immortality, basically. That's how you can rebuild the body. And you can maintain your immortality for a longer times. So the body itself, you can maintain that immortality. So that this is actually the, I didn't remember, some Hiram Abif. So that's a theory, right? So these are the ones based on this. That's the origin of the Christianity. That's how they started this, how you can be immortal kind of thing, right? So when this self-control is happened, even the other day, even when the Christ has that, when he put it on the silver, right? So whatever that, so people will think that, okay, he has got that kind of, but when he has got the self-control, he can come out of, because he is separate from his body. When he is separate from his body, he can self-control and he can just stay that. And after that, when he woke up and he came back, people thought that he came up with so much pain, but he didn't take that pain. As Buddha says that when you take it only, it will happen. Even Ramana Maharshi said, how are you? When somebody asked, I said, he is fine. Then when you are having all this cancer things and all, oh, that my body is having. That kind of answer they could give it, right? Similarly, here also, Christ also did the same thing. So here, when you are having that kind of self-control, then you can actually, you can rebuild your body and to the immortality and all. So what is this kind of, like how you can self-control? What is that self-controlling here in the sense? Again, the people may think that self-control in the sense not to send the gem outside through the sex or anything. That's not the case again. So the light can be separated from the germ. Germ can go. Okay, but the light is the one which we have to retain it. So how we can retain that light? That is the whole. Today's session is it's an introduction. So today's session is all about the 3 stages of the light that you can retain: first stage, second stage, and third stage. How we can retain this light? This is what we are going to talk about. Okay, let me share my screen. Share my screen. Okay, this is the agenda. Reclamation of the light by self-control, loss of the lunar gem, retention of the lunar gem, the solar gem, divine or immaculate conception in the head, and regeneration of the physical body. These are the things that we are going to discuss today. Okay, reclamation. So how we are reclaiming your light? Automatic reclamation is done by the psychic breath by taking the light away from the lunar gem and along the nerves of the digestive system upward from the region of the left kidney and ordinal, because it is coming through the right kidney, right? So when it is coming, is it, are you able to see?
Yeah, now you shared already.
I shared already?
Yeah. So first slide after...
Yeah, I'm not able to see the slide, that's why.
Oh, okay. No, already you shared.
Okay.
Yeah, just move to the next slide.
Yeah. Okay. Let me current slide.
Yeah.
Okay, here is the thing. So automatic reclamation is from the right side, actually, that we are talking about from the right side, it is talking, right? When it can move to the left side, upside, then the reclamation can happen. The 3 stages of the reclamation by the self-control are made by the doer, the thinker, and the knower. So at first stage, the doer has to do, second stage, the thinker has to do it, and the third stage, the knower has to do it, that reclamation part. 3 parts of the triune self take off light from the lunar gem and take the germ itself up the spinal cord of the voluntary nervous system. See, it is taking off the light from the lunar gem. So people may think that, okay, because ladies have that kind of lunar gem and it is going off, that there is a physical periods or something. So if that is happening, it is not that we cannot retain. No, it's not like that. The lunar gem, the light can be separated with our stages of self-control. The light can be separated and the light can travel back, but the lunar gem can go. So when the lunar gem, the light is not there, then it's not the problem. So here is the problem is the light, we have to take it off. Light, you should not get wasted with the lunar gem. So the lunar gem take the germ itself up the spinal cord of the voluntary nervous system. Automatic reclamation in the automatic process by the light is from the food prepared by the lunar gem. So automatic reclamation is from the food. That anyway we are automatically we are doing. The first stage of the voluntary reclamation of the light that has into the body is the recovery that the light due to the desire to do the right. See here, the first part, the desire to do the right. So whatever that we are, the first stage is desire to do the right thing. So that is where the light, how you can take it off the light. This is all the attitude, your attitude or your feelings or your actions only. It is not coming from the light, is coming somewhere and you are holding up and you are retaining, nothing like that. First stage has to do with the taking the light away from the lunar gem with the carrying that light into the blood to the heart and lungs with the rising the lunar gem itself from the lowest point. The first lumbar and the 12th dorsal vertebrate in the left side along the voluntary nervous system. So that is what we have to do it, right? So when it is coming to the lowest point, we have to take that to the light to the upper. So through the voluntary nervous system, we have to take that light. So usually the thought is carrying, or usually this germ is carrying the blood into the heart and lungs. Every thought that you are doing, it will go to the heart and lungs. Heart, it will have a particular it will wait for it. It will wait for the reasoning or a righteousness. When it says that, yes, you are good, then only we have to go further. When your heart is saying, no, you are not good, then you have to stop it. So when you are when it is saying you are not good and you are also doing it, you are not in the righteous path. Then your lunar gem cannot be sustained. So you have to listen to your heart things. First stage of the reclamation of the light of the body is done by who does not want to led by the nature into doing things he feels the nature wants. See, the one who is not led by the nature in the sense, suppose when I go out. So the last 4 days I went to some convention or something. So when I see the people, there are so many people might be wearing so many jewelry, so much of jewelry or so much of saris or so many other stores are going on. So if I am led by those things, if I am leading by those things, because those are all the nature only, right? So if I am leading by those things, then you are not actually, you don't have any self-control. Self-control is the one that you are leading by what you have within, not leading by the other, whatever your eyes are going or whatever your smell is going. Not that wherever your indriyas are going, you are not going. You are led by what your inner says. Your inner is saying, what is your duty? Here you came for your duty. You came for this particular thing, to accompany your husband or so, whatever the duty that you are doing. So only to that extent we have to get involved, not to the excess, because our eyes are seeing so many things and there are so many shops. So some person wear the dress and let's go and buy the dress. Some person wear a jewelry, which is so nice, go and buy the jewelry. So this is a nature driven. If you are like that, this is a nature driven. People will think that, oh, that's very natural. What is the wrong in it? I am not buying anybody else's money. No, it is not that, because you are driven by your indriyas. Suppose you went to a shop that you want to have a particular kind of sari, or you want to have some dresses for your own wear. You went for that particular purpose, then buy it. It is not the problem. The problem is when you are driven by the other things. When you are driven by the nature, then you are not actually in the self-control. When you yourself decided that today I have to go for a shopping because I'm going to some particular place, I need this kind of winter clothes or this kind of summer clothes, I need to go and buy. So that is, you want it, you went. You are not driven by any other things, because there's a need for it. And whereas when you go to outside, when you see somebody else things and you got involved, you got attracted, means you are driven by the nature. That should not be there. That is the nature, the first stage. Who wants to doing the best him what his duties are. What your duties are, you should do. How you should do your duties, not grudgingly, but cheerfully. So whatever that you are doing, you should do it cheerfully, not like, oh my God, I have to do this job. Not that kind of thing. Whenever you are doing that with a cheerful thing, so then you are doing it a good way. This relates to eating, sex, desires and possessions, name, fame, for the power. So here, we should not work for it. So whatever the duties we have to do it. Eating also you can eat because you just need to, you just need something for that food. Whatever it is, the desires, you should not go after your possession. I want that, I want this, desires and the fame, name and fame. You shouldn't do for the sake of name and fame or for the sake of power. You should do because it is your duty. You should do because you are supposed to do that. You should do because as a father or as a mother, you are supposed to do that duty for your kids. You should do it. That's how your first stage of, because it is first stage is the doer stage, right? So as a doer, how you should control yourself so that your light will not go. That is what here he is trying to say. Such a control of endeavor of the human desires will, without his becoming the conscious of it, take away some of the light which is carried by the lunar gem, which is risen as high as the left kidney. See, if you are not that consciousness, that light may go away. If you are the consciousness, that light will rise into the left kidney. From right kidney it is fallen and it will rise to the left kidney. After the psychic and mental births have taken care, some light for the noetic atmosphere is the course of automatic saving, desire for the living in the blood, may bear some of the remaining light away from the bloodstream. So here remember, So whenever we are doing this, because we ultimately, what is that, whatever that noetic breath that we are, a noetic thing, we have to store that, we have to take away to take to that noetic breath, the physical breath, psychic, mental, and then we have to take to the noetic breath. So that particular light, we have to take it back to the noetic atmosphere. We got that light to the physical atmosphere, we have to take it back to the noetic atmosphere. So the desire for living in the blood may, because even though you are the desire for living, I want to live at any time, I want to live, I don't want to die, kind of that desire for living is taking away some of the light. Anyway, that desire will always be there for people. That desire is always taking away some of the life, the light to the bloodstream, because that light is mingling with the bloodstream. That is why we are all living here. Okay. The only time when the desire can get this light is during the 1 to 3 days of each month when a lunar gem is near the kidneys. See, when the new lunar gem is near the kidneys, this light will be available, because this light sensation will be available to the user. That will happen 1 to 3 days and each month. That's what he is saying. The human people does not know anything, but he feels some kind of cheerfulness, some kind of sensation of the cheer within your body. That kind of excitement or some kind of thing will be there within you. So that you can experience in the 3 days. That is where you can see that the light is very near to your kidneys and you feel that kind of cheer in your body. Is the blood there? In the blood, there is a bound light and a free light. There is a bound light and a free light. In the first stage, he is talking about there are two lights. The bound light is coming from your food. Light which is extracted from the digestive system of the body. How it is extracted from the digestive system? From the food that you ate. Is bound light and cannot be taken by the desire until the lunar gem has extracted. You cannot take out that light from the desire, because desire is coming from that lunar gem and all those things. But this food light cannot be taken by that desire. Light which desire has brought into the blood is free. The light which desire has brought into the blood is a free and remains free until it is reclaimed and thinking, until desire unites with the light. So here you have got some desire. That desire is a free. I want to have something. You can have, I want to have a Mercedes car. That is also a light that you are giving, because the light that you are focusing on the nature, on the external things. Or I can say that I want to learn who am I? I want to learn what is the self-knowledge. I wanted to learn some Upanishad. I wanted to understand what is this. So this is also a want only. But this particular case, the light will be more focusing within you, so the light will retain. But whereas in the first case, when I want to have the Mercedes car, so my light is going out to the nature. You are not retaining your nature, because all your light you are putting into the nature, external things. So here is a self-control again. So where you are actually investing your light. So if you are investing within yourself, the light will be staying within you and it will strengthen. If you are investing that light outside the nature, or if you are giving it to the nature, the light will go to the nature. Whatever you have that power, that you are giving it away. You are putting on your unnecessary, unnecessary physical things. You are putting your light and possessing the things. Like I said, when I go to a party or in convention or some things, if I saw that sari, it's so nice, it is available in the store, let me go and buy. It's because I'm putting that light, whatever that light I have, on the things, and I'm possessing those things. So I'm already wasting my light over there. Light which desire has brought into the blood is free and remains free until it is reclaimed by the thinking, or until desire unites with the light when the breath meets the circulatory system in the heart and lungs, and only when the thought is conceived or entertained. Here he is saying, when you are taking back, even though you saw something, now I don't need it. You are taking back your thought. You are not actually putting the light on there. You are taking back on your thought and you are putting in your circulatory system itself. Then you are actually retaining your light. Then also the thought may again entertain. Again, one more thought may conceive and entertain. How that thought should be there, we are talking in the first stage. The run of the human beings lose their lunar gems within a month. So in the process, within a month, the lunar gem will be lost. We know, right? It is a 28-day cycle. the lunar gem will be lost. So if you can use that self-control and you can just retain that light. If the light is taken from the gem, by the automatic reclamation, that much light is returned by the psychic breath to the atmosphere and saved for the further. When the germ is lost, remaining light goes back to the circulation of the nature. So when the germ is lost, without retaining the light, when the germ is lost through sexual organs, what will happen? That light goes to the nature. It is going out. So it is going to the nature. That is all about the first stage. So the first stage, if you want to retain the things, what you have to do is you should not actually invest your things on the nature things. You should try to invest all the things. You should be compassionate. You should not have that. At the end, it boils down to the one thing and one thing only. That is, you should not have any low vibration thoughts in your mind. I can conclude the first stage in a one word. If you have the low vibrational thoughts in your mind, then the lunar gem will go to the nature. If you can control, if you can have the compassion, if you can have the love, if you can have all self-control, all the positive vibrated thoughts in your mind, the lunar gem you can control, and you can retain your light within, and that light can travel back. So that is in one sentence, if you want me to conclude, that is what I can say about the first stage. Is it clear? Any questions on the first stage?
Yes, it's clear. Actually, wherever we are passing the light outside, so we are losing the light. So when we
Exactly.
Pardon?
With the self-control, we can retain the light.
We retain the light.
You retain the light. That is all the first stage. Okay. Now let us go to the second stage. Second stage, remember, first stage is mostly the doer stages. Okay. Second stage is the thinker stages. Thinker stage it is. Second stage is the reclamation of the light is coming back into the body is reached. When the human is acquiring self-control by thinking, when human is self-control by thinking. So here the thinking, pessimism, mysticism, and atheism, these are of no use because they are not helping you at all. If you are a pessimist, it is not helping you. Then what you should be? You should be optimist. Okay, that kind of thinking you should be having it. In the first stage, all your emotions should be positive. All your things, whatever that you are doing, the high vibration thoughts, you should have it. That is the first stage. Second stage, the thinking, you should have that kind of optimism kind of thinking. Every human has a light within. Remember, every human has a light within. Though he does not know it as such and does not do what shows to be the right. So the light is there, but you only thing is the people are not understanding you. You are carrying that light. The light or the God's nature is there within everybody, but we are not understanding that light is there within us. It requires an attitude of mind akin to optimism, which favors the honest and clear thinking and enjoyment of the pleasures of the life, the temperance without hate, greedy, or envy. So here what he's saying, when you are optimistic, you will get a honest thinking, very clear thinking, you will be having it. And you will enjoy that, because the people think that, oh, when you are a meditator or when you are actually going in such a kind of things, you will not enjoy the life. That is a very, very wrong thing. You will more enjoy the things. You will enjoy more of the things, because you try to, you try to love everybody. You try to radiate the positive energy around you, right? So because I'll take the examples of whatever happened in the last 3-4 days when I'm outside, right? So when there is one mistake has happened, somebody took away some of the things, and because everybody is actually started giving a negative comments on her. So she was so upset, and because she did it, when she did it, she'll become so upset, right? And she started like, I don't know whether it's a drama or whether she's literally she is not doing it. So she kind of fainted, kind of thing. Oh my God, something happened, call 911 and all. Then I said, okay, because even whatever it has happened, let it happen. So I just moved away everybody. And then because I observed that her palms are becoming like very cold and all, so I just rubbed her feet and this somehow that moment, right? Because when you touch somebody else's feet, then she was touched, she was moved by that moment. Oh my God, she's doing a lot of, so she could, I could see the positive vibrations, right? So within her, and she, then why are you actually worrying about it? Let me resolve your problem. Then she told me, okay, within 10 minutes, I said, okay, you do this, you do this. I assigned the task to the different people, and I called her husband. Okay, now she's fine. Give her some food, and then she will be all right. So I could see today she called me, and oh, I can never, because usually when we think that the other people are doing, I know that the whatever that girl is doing is not right. But at that moment, I don't want to correct that girl. I just want to send some love to her. So with that love, because if I try to correct that also, in previously me, without all this knowledge, I would have said, you have done wrong. That's the reason why all this is happening to you. I would have told that, or I would not have taken that step. Because now when I know that, yeah, she also know pretty much that she did a wrong thing, because everybody started, then she, okay, let me take in a different way, just give some love to her. Then with that love, she was moved so much, and she is able to correct herself. So this is what we are saying in the second stage, right? Instead of actually pointing the fingers to the others, let us do that kind of, let's be optimistic. Let us think that anyone can change, because when the light is there within you, the light is there within her also. That is what we should believe. With everybody, the light is there. When you have behaved in a different way, you can change the things. Love is the only one thing that you can change the people. If you try to point the fingers, or if you try to correct the things, people will not change. If you give the love, in spite knowing that the other person is doing a wrong, if you can radiate love, if you can give that love, then she, because am I not enjoying? Yeah, previously I would have got my ego, and why should I do it? And all those things would have been there. Now, this time I don't have any ego. Let me give some kind of service to her. Let me give some love, because she needs that at that moment. She needs that only. So when you give that, right? So I could enjoy that pleasure of the life is like when she is moved, when she is able to, respond in a positive way, when she is able to correct herself, that is where I feel so much. So that is the pleasure of the life that I feel it. I feel it so much, instead of, because even if I fight, she won't change, and she would have fight back. What is the use? There's no use, right? So these kind of pleasures of the life you can enjoy more when you are actually able to enjoy the life. When you are actually having all this knowledge, you can enjoy more. You can enjoy more the life without greedy. I don't have any hatred on her. Even though she did it wrong, I don't have any hatred, because I know the same light is traveling every one of us. So you can change her, or you can remind her that you also have that light. How you can remind that light? By radiating a light. Whatever the light that you have, you radiate. How you can radiate the love? Using your love, affection, and all the positive things that you can. If you show that greedy, or if you show that envy, or if you show the grudge, then they will not change. That is the second stage. It requires his duties that should perform willingly and understanding. I should understand the other person, whether the other person is doing right or wrong. Understand that, willingly do some duty. Then this will. Then the second stage, you will be able to do that. With his attitude of mind, he develops, and he may at times slip back a mental set that will result in an involuntary reclamation. Sometimes you may set back, you may go back, but you will set here in the second stage. By this mental, because that is why whenever you are eating the food every day, right? When you are eating food every day, then only you are getting energy. Similarly, you need to read this kind of scriptures. You need to read this kind of knowledge every day. Then only this knowledge will be retained and remembered. If you are not retaining, then see, 2 weeks, when the 1 week break is there, you can see that lunar jump. Sometime long back we studied, kind of feeling you will be getting it, because there is a break. There is not a continuous learning is there. Like how we are taking the food, we should have that continuous learning. Whenever you are reminding this over and over and again, then you will not fall back. Otherwise, there is a pretty good chances that you will fall back to your normal thinking. To your very normal thinking, you will just fall back, and your light will go back. Okay. By this mental set, his thinking will, without being conscious of it, extract the light that is free in the bloodstream, and some of the light that is bound in a thought will even balance some thoughts. It may also raise the lunar gem along the voluntary nervous system to the highest thoracic vertebrae. See here, whenever you are doing that kind of thoughts, automatically that the free light will go back, because free light is going back means going back, and you are retaining in your pineal gland kind of thing. That's how you can retain. When you are having a positive, when you are radiating your positive things, you can regain that one. Okay. And you can keep it. How it automatically through voluntary nervous system, it will go going back to the thoracic region. Until here, the light can go back because it is traveling back to the thoracic region. Thinking can get the light from the circulating blood only when the heart blood and lung blood, and only when the righteous desire is in the agreement with it. See, here the heart blood and lung blood, right? That blood, when the thought is coming back here, that righteousness should agree it. Whenever that particular thing is coming back, that righteousness should agree it. Then only it can go back. Otherwise, when the righteousness things is not agreeing, then you cannot go. We cannot carry that energy, because that energy is not the right energy. That light is not the right light. So you'll not be able to do that. The seasons in the body present a favorable condition. The seasons in the body present a favorable condition when a solar gem descending and ascending in the two hemispheres of the spinal cord in the opposite of the heart. Here, the solar gem is there, which is traveling from the two hemispheres of the spinal cord, opposite to the heart. That is there in the, we are talking about lunar, but solar gem also is talking about. So solar gem, when it is there, lunar gem is traveling through the right and coming back to the left, whereas solar gem is traveling like this. Okay, getting light in thinking can happen anytime, providing the lunar gem has risen above the kidneys. When the lunar gem started rising above the kidneys, your thinking can happen anytime. From the heart blood and lung blood, thinking by means of the mental breath acting through the respiratory breath rises the light from the errors of the past. It rises the errors of the past. It would not do the same kind of errors. This active thinking is intended and restrained as to the active thinking on such a subjects of immortality, the dweller of the body, the truthness, charity, honesty, the purpose of life, of the service, or the goodwill. See, if your thinking is on these subjects, what is the subjects? So subjects such as immortality, or subjects such as truthfulness, or charity, or an honesty, or what is the purpose of life, what is the goodwill, all these things. If your thinking is on these kind of subjects, the lunar gem will take your light up above, because all these subjects are the one which you are supposed to think. Instead of thinking all these things, if you are thinking about my car, my dress, my kids' college, or something else, then your energy is putting over there only. You are putting all your energy there. External nature things, you are keeping the things. It overrides the obstacles of the desires, eliminates and weaknesses. So whenever you are thinking all these great subjects of immortality, charity, all those things, then all the obstacles of the desires, whatever the other desires, right, weaknesses will override. Automatically it overrides. I told you, whenever I have to prepare this, because Thursday class is totally that without any, what do you say, it is totally the nishkama karma. I'm not expecting anything. What I'm expecting, I will understand. Okay, I'm not expecting. When you are doing that kind of karma, or when you are doing that kind of work, automatically the things will get aligned. Even if there is, today I didn't prepare well, so today if I have an office work, then I would not have done all the, because I need a lot of time to prepare it. So if that is the case, if I prepare that day, the more office work will be there. If I don't prepare that day class, the office work will also pull away. So because it's a nature is actually all your weaknesses, it is helping you to do whatever you wanted to do it, because when you are doing that particular work is having a very positive energy, or when it is having a charity, or when you are thinking a purpose of the life, or when you are thinking whatever the good causes that I mentioned before, right? When you are doing it, all the things, universe will try to help you. When this sort of thinking goes onto it, prevents the light circulating in the body from the flow out, and then it empowers the lunar gem and take up and up more and more light. It is taking that lunar gem up. During this process, the light mental atmosphere climbs and takes the light from the heart blood. When the blood light becomes the mental light and it is taken away from the desire tries to follow the light and so gives force from the thinking. The thinking carries into the light of the cerebellum and the cerebellum and cerebrum. So this thinking light, this is again carrying into the pineal body with the cerebellum and cerebrum. It is thinking, it is carrying when you are actually thinking the right. The thought must be in the heart and lungs, and thinking must be either be done in connection with the willing and understanding of the performance of the duty, or must think towards the repudiation of the thought. See, the thought, whatever you are doing, it should be the willing and understanding of the thought. You cannot thought something else, it will go back to the light. No, it has to be willing. You should do your duty with the willingly and understandingly. Thinking may extract some of the light that is bound in a thought, while the thoughts is in the heart of the lungs. It does when disapproves of the thought, so draws the light away from it, thus limiting and retarding it. So here, whenever your thinking starts, when your heart is disapproving that thought, when heart is disapproving that thought, it is taking away, that light is taking away from that thought. The light is not there because the thought was disapproved by your heart and lungs because it is not the right thought that you are doing it. Thinking may also take all the light out of the thought. Sometimes it may take all the light out of the thought when a thought has been conceived and is not yet issues. It is being gested in the cerebellum and cerebrum. This is the communication between the thought and the heart which is conceived. Thought is conceiving here, heart is there. There is always a communication between the thought and the heart. The thought is nourished by active and passive thinking. So how the thought is by active and passive thinking it is. If during this time the human determines the abdomen, the aim of the object of the thought drawn back to the heart, and light is separated by the desire of thinking. So the light is separated by the desire of thinking and is returning to the mental atmosphere from the heart and lungs. That when you are doing the right thought, that's what it is. Otherwise it may go to the nature. Light may also be reclaimed from the thought after the thought has been issued, but before it is exteriorized. You may issue a thought, but before it gets exteriorized, you can take back your thought. You can you can cancel your thought, right? So that time you are actually taking back that light before it gets exteriorized. If a human decides to abandon the aim of the objects, the thought goes to the part of the mental atmosphere which is in the heart and lungs. You started some thought, okay, I wanted to have something you wanted to have something in the nature. So you release that thought, and before you realize that why am I investing my energy here? No, I don't want that. You just cancel that. So the light will be withdrawn back to you. It is not on the object that you thought of previously. It is not before it goes to the nature and exteriorize it. If you cancel that thought, the light can come back to you. Their thinking separates the light from the desire, so that the light is from the desire. The light is transferred from the mental and desire to the psychic, from the mental to the psychic atmosphere. It is transferring. The light is extracted when the thought is balanced. When the thought is balanced, the light is extracted and restoring within you, which may not be until after many exteriorizations. When the thought is balanced, after many exteriorizations happen, then only you'll be able to balance your thought. So when you are actually balancing all your thoughts, you will become the perfect sexless body. That's what he's saying. A thought is balanced by thinking. When the feeling and desire are in agreement with each other, both are in agreement with the righteousness and the reasoning, and are agreement with the selfness and concerning the act, object, or an event, which had been witnessed by I-ness, which has been witnessed by I-ness. See here, it is an agreement with your feeling and desire. It is an agreement with the righteousness and reasoning. It is an agreement with the selfness of the act, object, or an event. Then it has been witnessed by your I-ness. Okay, that is the thing. That is the knower part. The light from the thought is transferred into the pineal body. That time the light is transferred from the pineal body, from the thought pineal body, where it is restored in the noetic atmosphere. When the light comes back to the pineal bond, then it is restored in the noetic atmosphere. When an abstract subject is thought of, such as destiny, living forever, service, or being conscious of the desire of the self-knowledge. So when you are actually thinking all these subjects, then your light will be retained. This problem of searching. So when you started searching, right, okay, what is my destiny? What is my purpose of life? How do I know it? So if you start thinking about that, that's where you are started your third stage. That's where you started going into your third stage, that is a voluntary reclamation. So you don't want to waste your light on unnecessary things. You are not actually wasting any of the things. You are actually intentional knowing. You started searching, who am I? Why I came here? What is my purpose of the life? You started searching. That's where your third stage starts. Sometimes you may find what you are intending in your search. You may find what is your intention, or you may be knowing what is your intention. Sometimes you may discover that which you did not expect at all. You didn't expect at all those things, but you must have discovered. So when I'm starting thinking on destiny, I didn't expect that he will teach all the science, social studies, everything. I thought this is another spiritual book, and he may talk about some death or some life. But he touched upon every point. What is that which I didn't expect? So he is touching on every point. He's dissecting my thought, how the thought can travel from one place to the another, when I can cancel that thought, how I can retain my light. All those things I'm learning. This is not I expected. So sometimes you may get what you are. Now, suppose if I say soul's journey, then I understand, okay, soul's journey after the death, how the soul will go. That is what my expectation. So when I'm reading that book, that is what I understood. But thinking on destiny, I thought I didn't expect all these things, but we are all getting it, right? So this is what it is. This thinking opens up the thought, and by the light, it uses the light that is in the thought. So it started using the light that is there in your thought. When one acknowledges these to be the light, shows that they are, and determines that he will make they should be, light of the thought goes into the light of the mental atmosphere to the pineal body. Light of the thought goes to the mental atmosphere, and from there to the pineal body, and transfers to the noetic atmosphere. It is transferring. So when it is transferring back to the noetic atmosphere, the thought is balanced. It is a balanced thought. The third stage of the reclamation of the light, which has come into the body of the nature, is the recovery of the light due to the knowledge gained in the previous two stages. What you are doing here, third stage, if you are gaining back that light, means you have that knowledge that you gained in the first two stages. And third stage, you are using that knowledge. You are putting use of that knowledge into your life. That's the third stage. Suppose in the first stage you learned that Aham Brahmasmi, everybody is a Brahman, and everybody we have that Brahman. In the third stage, you can make use of that in the third stage. So whenever you try to whenever you don't like a person, like I said before, then you will not show that grudge. You will say that, oh, that Brahman is there within them also, within me also. Maybe because of the other circumstances that he or she is behaving like that. Let me take it. That kind of attitude you'll be having it. In this stage, one should not attach himself to anything. Third stage, you should not get attached yourself to anything or attach anything to yourself. That kind of nature you should be having it. When a human applies the knowledge in his living, he continues, embraces, inferences fall gradually away. All these things they fall away. They depart from you. He acquired the confidence in action, strength in purpose, penetration into looking a thing or a condition. Neither friends nor strangers can influence him. So nobody can influence you. Suppose you many of us were non-vegetarians, and then you become a vegetarian. Let us take. So when you went to some hotel, oh, nothing will happen. There are so many people will say nothing will happen. Just one day you have it. So these kind of things, is it going to be influence you once you have that knowledge that you shouldn't eat and you shouldn't harm the animals? Once you have that knowledge, is this kind of things are going to be influence you or not?
No,
right? They will not, because you have gained that knowledge and it is there within you. You are very strong. So similarly, whenever you understand all this purpose, neither friends nor strangers can influence you, because when you put that knowledge into your action, into your life, money, possessions, attainments.
You have the self-confidence.
Yes. See the money, possessions, attainments, cease and have attraction from him. Nothing will actually influence, nothing can influence you. So even if you have some kind of positions, even if you see something red, that also you will not, you'll not feel, because the other day I'm telling this the 2 days before, because there is a gold store is there, everybody, because he's giving, I don't know whether, as if people went and buying as if he's giving it a free, that kind of thing. So because in 2018 I took a decision, I'll not buy gold for myself. So now even if I see anything, right, even if I see anything there, I will not, I'm not getting that thought also. Nothing can influence that. Great designs are friends that who are buying, or nothing is getting. That kind of nature we should develop. Not only in the kinds of, because I told you, yeah, non-vegetarian, all of us is having the same thing, right? Similarly, because these kind of things, one after the other, these things will go away from your life, because you are actually, you feel that there is a much more good things that you can do. Instead of showcasing your clothes, or instead of showcasing your gold, all these things, there is a much more things that you can focus your light on. That you will be understanding it, right? Then you will not get attracted with all these things. He eats and drinks. Do you think that he'll not eat? He eats and drinks, but he'll keep his body healthy, not to have the taste buds to satisfy his taste buds, but to keep his body healthy. He enjoys his food, although he does not eat for the pleasure of eating. Although it's not the pleasure of eating, but whenever he is eating, he enjoys the food. He attends his occupations because they are his work. Whatever the occupations that he is doing, he'll attend because it is his work and he has to do it. The voluntary reclamation of the based on a more steady desire which controls all other desires, and a mental set reclaim the light intentionally and intelligently. So if you say that I want to know my purpose of life, I want to work towards that, all other purposes, all other things will go away, because you are focusing your light on that particular purpose very smartly, very intelligently, you are focusing. So then all other desires will go away. The other source of the light is carried out by the lunar gem into the head. So then this will carry on to your head. The automatic protection of the lunar gem ends when it has come up as high as the left kidney, germ, and lost usually through the sexual occupation. That is how it is actually losing. After the psychic breath has taken up the light automatically. So what he is saying, even that light was separated, that germ will go. The gem will go, but the light is separated. Automatically, you are actually taking off the light, and light is going to the head, and the germ is going through your sexual organs. This will rise along the spinal cord in the region of the dorsal and the cervical vertebrae until it reaches the midbrain. It is going until it reaches the midbrain. It arrives as a physical matured gem. When it is going back, it arrives as a physical matured gem, and can be when united with the seed or a soil. Be sued in the generation of the physical body, superior in the health and strength of those crowd in the world. So when it is going back, your body will become a superior. How? In case of healthy body, it will become. When it is preserved, it will unite with the next monthly gem. When it was taken back, preserved, it will unite with the next monthly gem, which merges into it. So it merges into the next monthly germ. Then it will be descended and make a second round of the body, being automatically protected the left kidney. The same thing. It will come back and again it will take the second round. It will be, if it is not lost, arrive the head of the second time also. At the end of the second lunar month, strengthens the additional light that has gathered. So when it comes back, the additional light is gathered here. It is possible for one who has developed the lunar gem higher degrees, that is one carried the 2-3 months, and to begin the body for the more and more perfect bodies. So whenever it is going more and more body, your body is becoming perfect. The regeneration of the body for the self-impregnation for the building of the 3 inner bodies, in which the 3 parts of the triune self will live in the form, life and light worlds. So the 3, with these things, their inner bodies are forming with the light, life and light worlds. With the first, there is a divine conception of the light in the head because the presence of the solar gem. So with the first, solar gem is there, and with that presence, it has a divine concept is there in your head. The solar gem is a portion of the doer portion of the doer. It represents the triune self and has with it some other clear light. The solar gem is having, it is representing your triune self, and it has a very clear light within you. It has no body, it has a no body. It doesn't have any nature matter. Right? Until the lunar gem has a nature matter, that is why, whereas solar gem is not having any nature matter. There is only one solar gem for each life. For each life, there is only one solar gem. Through the gem renews itself every year. It renews itself every year. So it appears at puberty. It starts appearing at your puberty, the pituitary body, and descends to the right side of the spinal cord until right side of the spinal cord. And after about 6 months, it reaches the end of the cord. And then again, the first lumbar vertebra. So it is actually reaching and strengthening. In the 1 year, it is actually talking about the 2 times. Then it turns and ascends the left side during about the 6 months and arrives the pineal body. It is going back and coming back in the 6 months. It is the head in the, because lunar gem, what is the cycle? How many days the cycle lunar gem?
28 days.
28 days. Solar gem is 1 year.
1 year.
Okay. 1 year. It strengthens. It is only one, but it strengthens. It is the head in the renews itself, then starts the next descendant. It continues throughout your life, the solar gem. At the death of the body, it becomes again one with the doer. The solar gem by its journey is south and north, because it is traveling south and north of the spinal cord, patrols the way. The way we will talk about. The way is the greatest way. That is a different. It has a big chapter itself. I'll talk about that later. It keeps open, dwelling the path of the triune self, with the 3 parts of the triune self at present do not dwell in the spinal cord. So at present, the 3 parts. Every lunar gem must pass the solar gem at least once a year, because when it is passing, the lunar gem is passing, right? At least once a year it will pass. Sometimes it may pass twice, because if it is traveling back, that is when the lunar gem is going down. When it is going down, at least once it will pass, because 6 months it is going down or up, right? And when the lunar gem is going on, at least once a year it has to pass. But if it is passing back also, then there is a chance that when you are retaining that lunar gem, then there is a chance that it will cross the solar gem second time also. If a lunar gem is not lost, but on the return path, the head rises the higher than the station that lunar vertebra is, then the psychic breath takes up the light of course of action of the reclamation. Then when it is taking the reclamation, it may cross again. When the lunar gem has completed 13 rounds, remember, when that is in a year, it is a 13 rounds within the 12 months, having the courses with its 12 successive monthly germs, which has merged into it, is having the light received each time it passes the solar gem. See, when it crosses the 13 times, the light is so much, and whenever it is crossing the solar gem, it is taking the light from the solar gem as well. With the rebuilding of the body, achieved the reclamation.
Can we stop?
No, I'm just
Okay.
to one or two more slides only. With the rebuilding of the body, achieved the reclamation of the light that has gone into and outside the nature. Reclamation of the light cannot be accomplished except in the rebuild the physical body. Reclamation of the light. So this, whatever it is reclaiming, we are rebuilding the body. That light can be rebuild the body. Human reclaims the light, becomes conscious of the light within him. Whenever you are actually reclaiming the light, you will feel that light. Not only that, so whenever you are actually radiating all the positive qualities and all, right, whenever you go to the place, you can feel whether that energy is a positive energy or a negative energy, whether you are losing your energy or whether you are gaining your energy, whether you can stay there or not. All these things you can feel it. If you are a serious meditator and if you are doing that, all these things you can feel now itself. It is not that somewhere when you are becoming the knower and all, even with your thinker stage also, you can feel all those things. Human reclaims the light and becomes conscious of I'll become the conscious that no, I should not do it. I have to do this, but that kind of thing, conscious of you will become a conscious of yourself. With the conscious yourself as a doer. The rebuilding began by the lunar gem and has been preserved during the 13 lunations. So because the rebuilding was started on these 13 lunations, it has rebuilt. It is accomplished when the body is a 2-columned. So it is a body was a 2-column sexless body, then it is a thing. Human being, because this figure I have shown, but now because short of time, I'm not showing that figure, but I'll show it the next time when we are recapping it, that body with the sexless, perfect sexless body, right? That's the one. Human beings living in one column body cannot reclaim all the light, because when you are living with the one column body, when you're taking, you cannot reclaim all the light that it is passing out. Outstanding light, because such a bodies have not necessary, that organization you don't have it. Rebuilding the physical body into the immortal body is found in the Masonic teachings. Masonic teachings is the one that is talking about this rebuilding your body. You can rebuild your body into the immortal body. That is the Hiram Abif, whoever is the right, which is the lunar. That is nothing but nothing but here it is the lunar gem. That's what he's saying. Whatever that Masonic teachings are saying by the Hiram Abif, you can just Google it and understand. He'll say that you can rebuild your body with the immortal body kind of thing. How? He has explained in this. So that is where the Christianity was started. That's where actually the Christianity was started there. When you are actually radiating your positive things, so that's how the Christianity was started. But what we are studying or whatever we are hearing sometimes may be the different, but that's not the thing. What he's saying is that's where the Christianity, when rebuilding immortality was started, that's how it was started. One man had succeeded in retaining the lunar gem for 13 lunations. So lunations. That time one man has succeeded, so that he became that father. He is a perfect body, and he became the father of the heaven. That's how the Christianity was started. That's what he is saying it. This is the 3 stages of how you can reclaim the light within you. The first stage, second stage, and the third stage. First stage is as a doer, what you should do. Second stage as a thinker, what optimistically how you should think it. And third stage as a knower, how you should apply whatever the knowledge that you have gained from the first and second stages, how you should apply for it. Then all your light will be retained, and whenever all the light was retained, your body will become an immortal, because your body, you are retaining all the things, right? All the things within yourself. You can rebuild the body. So if you can continuously do that 13 cycles, you will have that lot of light within yourself. Okay, I hope I have dissected into the 3 parts and able to explain. If you have any